go, Rob. Where are you? Come on. Come on. Got it, Rob.
Oh, so we've still got Robert Bruce Shaolin on at track.
Wake up, Brooks. Where are you? Look. Oh, damn it.
It was kind of a push during the party last night. I sort of knew that it was going to make me really tired today. Yesterday was my 39th birthday, and which means that it's been more than 20 years since I last raced downhill. I used to do it when I lived in Wellington. I was in the secondary schools, I was in the age champs, went to the nationals. I lived and breathed downhill mountain biking. And then one day, I was probably 18 years old, and I just quit. And I think this happens to a lot of people who are good at a sport when they're at school. You just move away from the support structure of school and parents, living at home. And so for me, I just walked away from mountain biking. 20 years later, I'm teaching people how to ride. I'm teaching mountain biking, which I thoroughly enjoy. I really enjoy the look on someone's face the first time they go biking, or the first time that they learn how to do it. But it hasn't been the same for me. I've always had this internal yearning to race again, and so we're heading to Crankworks, Rotorua. I'm going to race in the Taniwha downhill race. It's considered a very technical downhill, which suits me. I'm not interested in big air or big jumps or flips. I just want to race down a hill as fast as I can, because that's how we did it in the 1990s. I'm super nervous about the jump line at the bottom of the track. I've emailed Crankworks. They've told me that there's a beeline, that you can avoid the jumps, but I've seen a lot of videos of people racing it in the past week, and it doesn't look like there's a beeline. So yeah, that's my nervousness right now. So one of the reasons I want to race downhill is that about 2 years ago, my grandmother passed away. At the funeral, my father was really upset and opened up for the first time ever, really, to me. We were sitting around a dinner table, and he said, "You should have been at the Olympics. I bought you the best bike, I took you to all the races, I gave you everything. Why weren't you at the Olympics?" And I just sat back and I was like, whoa, no one told me. No one told me that that was my pathway. I was just doing mountain biking, but I was also doing other sports, and I was a teenager, you know, and I was doing all these different things, and no one told me that I was good enough, or that I could have followed this as a career. That I've taught thousands of people how to mountain bike, you know, like, it's not like I've wasted the talent, but in terms of racing downhill, I never did it again. So that's why I want to do this race today.
How do you feel about it?
I feel like my time's probably passed at age 40. I mean, I'm not 40, I'm 39. But I'm in my 40th year on this planet. I've got aches, I've got injuries, and I've got a really old bike. We're coming into town. Oh, that also is Crankworks. Oh wow, big brand.
Oh, no, you've got your license. No.
I'm feeling pretty good. It's absolutely hosing down with rain, which means the track's going to be super slippery, but actually I used to ride a lot in the wet in Wellington, so I'm not nervous about that, but I do feel old. Everyone around me is like from secondary schools. I just turned 39 yesterday, you know. I don't know if I belong in this world anymore.
Yeah, please, I'll get a point one.
Here to all open.
I wish I could see people riding it, but this is really rusted, but if you came left, what happens next? Yeah. There's no brakes. The interesting thing about doing this at age 39 is that it seems really hard. Risk of death seems possible, but I think when you're 13 or 14 you don't think about that stuff. So far this is rideable for me, but it's like back wheel, full brakes, full back. I don't know. Like this. This is just like, put your back brake on and just oh man. Okay, so what are we going to do? We've come down here with quite a bit of pace. For me it's just back brake, just lock it up, but because you don't want too much pace. What are you saying? No brakes.
What do you think of this, Rom?
To look from the middle and look up it, eh?
The second half of the track's a lot harder than the first, to be honest. Between the jump line, the step up, and now this. Once you're in one of these chutes, that you got to have your pedals flat. You can't pedal anymore, and you just have to send it. But if you've got no brakes, you're in big trouble. And I'm probably not going to have any brakes.
Jeez.
The truth is that I don't want to be that rider, maybe the only rider that skips these obstacles, but in my whole life, like when I was riding at 17, we didn't have jumps like this, so I'm just not prepped for it. I'm on an old bike with an old body. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, first impressions, Taniwha DH, rideable, super gnarly. I do not see me doing the jumps. Especially this one, like no way. It's a huge gap. Now it's time to ride it. Whose idea was this? So everyone else here has got top of the range downhill bikes. I've got a top of the range downhill bike from when I was last riding. This is a Foes DH Mono. It's a monocoque frame, absolute downhill beast from 2001, 2002, thereabouts. everyone thinks I'm completely mad, except for everyone who's over 40 who thinks it's the coolest thing ever. Let's see what happens. End of the first day of practice, and I can safely say that I'll be the slowest on the course by about 10 times. The kids are just absolutely sending it over gap jumps and over roots and over obstacles, and I'm way off the pace, but it's quite enjoyable. Although I did almost make a kid crash because I was so slow that he almost landed on top of me on a jump that I was avoiding. Certainly good to be back out here. This is how oldies race. Coffee. It's actually around the other way, but
oh, and it's a nice little love heart. Oh, cute.
Now we can ride.
According to that psychologist,
I don't really like these pads, to be honest. In that first practice run, I think I realised what I'd got myself into. This was a really hard track and I really wasn't prepared for it. I was having a lot of trouble staying on the bike, it was really slippery, and all those lines I'd carefully walked hours before just didn't make any sense when I was actually on the bike. Yeah, it was going to be a really hard race. Oh, this is just great. This was a stupid idea. Now I'm lost on the way down the hill. The only tracks through here are pig. I don't know where I am. Can't hear the whistles, can't hear the music. So today was interesting. Day 2 of training day, Crankworks. The bike just was not up to it. Like, I did okay yesterday and maybe I had beginner's luck, but today I couldn't get the brakes to work, I couldn't slow down, I was just riding, crashing, and actually I just ended up just walking out of the track. It took me ages and I thought I was going to just walk nicely down to the finish line, and I ended up in the middle of this bush and it was just a freaking nightmare. I had to like bush bash with a bike in full protective gear, and I was just thinking, what am I doing here? Like, yeah. So what I did instead that afternoon is I just put the bike away and I went up and watched some of the pros come down, and it was just so cool to watch these younger riders absolutely sending it. It was really good, and it reminded me what I love about mountain biking, which is the atmosphere, the parents, the corridor, the conversation. Like, it was just great, and I really loved it actually. They're going so fast. Woo! It's awesome seeing how fast they are these days. I'm way off the pace, but it's just enjoyable to be back in this world, you know. It's nice just to step back into something that you've left. It's nice. People are friendly as well. So I was pretty much over it at that point, figured that there was no hope to fix the bike. Thankfully there was a bike mechanic actually at the race. So we took the foes into this guy and he said, what have you done to this bike? But he was willing to try, and he pulled apart the brakes, he used his angle grinder, and he put it all back together. And at the end of all this, I have brakes, and so I guess there's no real excuse not to ride tomorrow, and at least try and get down the track tomorrow. That's the plan at the moment. So it's race morning of Crankworx Taniwha. I'm feeling a lot better today than yesterday. I think the big change was I've fixed the bike. I know that I've got brakes. I think I've got brakes. And we looked last night at the entries in my category, and there's only 4 in the category. So to place at Crankworx, I have to beat one person, or one person needs to crash or not show up. So I guess it's given me some, you know, some false achievement. You know, I'm so slow compared to everyone else, but it has been a lot of fun getting back on the bike.
What's that like to know that you're not as good as you once were?
That realization of realizing that you're not as good as you thought you were it's an ego hit. It's nice to refresh riding grade 5 extreme riding. That's part of what I wanted to achieve from this trip. I ride a lot of grade 2, grade 3, teaching people how to ride. So it's good to refresh my skills.
Okay.
Alright, we're heading up, first run of the day, new brakes.
Yeah. I'm going to be concentrating on it 5 Yeah. I think so. Nice to see the front.
This thing weighs a bit more than usual.
I was going to say, it looks quite heavy.
Yeah.
That's a cool old bike.
Foes, yeah.
I saw you in the, was that you in the
Yeah, I've been around. Making a documentary about an old fart doing downhill.
Yeah, what?
An old guy doing downhill.
Oh, right.
That's me. What do you think? Yeah, oldest bike on course.
Fine age of over 100.
How are we, everyone? My name's Rob. I've got the oldest bike on course and the oldest legs, maybe. Yep, 3, 2, woo! Sorry, buddy. Okay, right. Oh yeah, right there. Okay, okay. That was good. Down a bit. That was pretty good. That's right. Oh, have a breather, I'm old. Woo! Hello everyone! Good morning! Straight to mechanical. Got no brakes. The first run was really good. Held on for everything. Everything I could ride. I've got a philosophical question. Wait and fix the brakes, or just go again? felt really good. I felt really good actually.
Yeah.
I guess.
Monty Williamson with a 3:06.5. She needs to be a 3:42.
How we doing?
How we doing?
How we doing? Is it
Excited.
good?
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
Good
Excited
energy.
to see Rob go down.
Oh, I'm real excited. I kind of want him to stack it, not gonna lie, but
That's what I mean. See him go down.
Having to make a pass.
No.
That was an unintended consequence of what I
no.
was
Look,
saying.
he's gonna do well. It's gonna be fun. So.
Yeah. What do you reckon the chances of him podiuming today?
So he only has to knock off 2 people to make a podium. So I definitely think he should. You know what I mean? Totally think he should.
Yeah.
Okay, it is almost at race start and about 4 people ahead of me. Whew. Yeah, a little bit nerve-wracking actually. I got all these fast guys behind me. They seated us way weird. Should have had us last. You'll hear me before you see me.
That's fun, bro.
Hey, thank you, man. I won't be catching you.
Can catch, maybe.
I don't think so.
Most important, you must have fun, eh?
Yeah, I like that, Felipe. Bit nerve-wracking up here, brother. Hello. Okay, so how long I got? A minute. Count me in! Woo! 3, 2, woo-hoo! Yeah, boy! The first few 100 meters of the race was so good. I was just flying. I felt super confident, and I was glad that I got the brakes fixed, but then it all fell apart. Oh, thanks, brake. Oh man, when I lost that brake, I was so gutted. I was riding really good. The bike felt amazing underneath me. I was feeling really fast. But at this point, the fear started to kick in because I really just couldn't control myself. This huge chute was, you had to have the back brake on, just like I walked through a practice, and I was totally out of control. One thing I was super proud of, even though I had no brakes coming down the hill, there was this big drop off that it just freaked me out the whole weekend. I just came up to it with no brakes and I just sent it. I felt awesome. Oh, I've lost all my brakes. At this point, I was just pleading with the bike, please, come on brakes, please work, and I was pulling them in the hope that maybe I could get some pressure down to those disc pads. The disappointing thing right now is I was riding really well. I'm watching this footage, like, I was riding really well, but I was completely out of control. And yeah, it wasn't going to be long before I had a big step. Wake up, Brett. Where are you? Look. Oh, damn it.
Let's go, Rob. Where are you? Come on. Come on. Run it, Rob.
Awesome. We've still got Robert Bruce, Shaolin on at track.
This is my race pace. No damn brakes. It was really important to me that I didn't destroy someone else's race run, so I got out of the way of the rider behind me and he zoomed past. What I was really thinking at this point, I just wanted to get to the bottom. I didn't want to come dead last. I knew the guys were waiting for me down there and I just wanted to get down the hill.
Looks like some mechanical issues here for our next rider coming into the finish.
Yeah, Rob!
No brakes!
Dirt on the shoulder on that vintage Bose.
That was a heck of a spot to stand.
Poppy Lane coming across the line with a 3:38.39.
No brakes, huh?
3:38.39.
Oh no, Rob.
Look at this, look at this.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I lost. I was riding real nice. And then I had no
We
brakes on
have
the top.
our
Like,
senior
30 seconds
women
and I had no
19
brakes.
plus
Really?
on a course right now. Caitlin Titheridge,
No front, no back.
your first rider to drop. She's gonna be chasing down the hill.
Talk to us.
Just like, just a lot of fun. Like, I didn't expect to. I rode really nice, and then the brakes blew out. I could have ridden much nicer today. Like, I didn't have to come last, you know? I guess it's kind of fun and made some friends. Stupid, really. Stupid idea. It's a shame, man. I had a real nice run this morning and it must have been the last run for those pads.
Longevity was not there.
I should have just come down and done one run.
Right. You're here, man. You did it.
So the racing's over and it's been a pretty awesome weekend. I think it's been a journey for me. I came into it wanting to get back into the sport that I loved as a kid, and I've done that. I tried to do it with a retro bike, the kind of bike I would have had when I was a kid, and the bike let me down really. I busted the brakes, I couldn't get down the hill. I guess 7 minutes is better than, could have been worse, but it's pretty bad. I think the fun of getting out and doing this has been the friendships, the parents, the supporters, and also the friendships that I made with other riders who were getting back into the sport. And so I guess the learning has been, it is good to get out and do something out of your comfort zone, even if you have to adjust your expectations. Like, you're not going to win after 20 years of not doing something, but you can still enjoy it. So getting out is good.
Perfect. What a little ride by there. Gotta make you laugh somehow.